Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for a purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. For uses of use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now let's start this dang show.
You gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Whether it's a trade or whether it's a signing, what are your top priorities when making a decision as a general manager?
Being on the same page with Pete and making sure it's what's best for the Raiders. You know, Pete and I have had since the start a great communication between us. We've got great staffs that support us and feel, I think, empowered to tell us what they think. And so any move that we make, you can bet that Pete and I have talked a lot about it, which means our staffs have talked a lot about it too. And we've done it because we feel like it's in the best for the Raiders.
John, obviously Jacoby had a trade request, but despite that, no holdout situation, still coming to practice. What do you think that says about his professionalism, and how do you assess his value to this team?
Well, Jacoby's a consummate professional, and Jacoby and I have had a lot of great conversations since I've gotten here about many different things. And, you know, I'm excited that he's here and he's a Raider and he's out in the field working hard today, and I've not seen him do anything but that since I've been here. He's a professional. I think he really values being a Raider. He has a lot of respect for this game, and I think he only knows how to go about it one way, which is to give his best when he's out there.
Amari Cooper, was that kind of indicative of just maybe how young it was behind the first three guys and just wanted to get more experience?
Yeah, I mean, we're always going to try to find guys at different times that can help our team win. And, you know, I love the idea of playing rookies. I think that's a constant like tug and war between coaches and personnel people sometimes. And I think it's really easy for me to sit up here and say, play the rookies, because I don't have to call the plays and coach them up and, you know, get the quarterback to feel like they can trust them. And so we just constantly monitored who was available. And the more we talked about it, and then the Mario was still there, and the way we saw our roster developing and seeing Dante and Jack come along, we started to have some conversations with Mario about coming back to Raider Nation. And, you know, he was super interested right away. And obviously we made the move because we felt like he made us better. And it's been really cool to see him out there the last couple days. He's somebody I've had a lot of respect for a long time. I can still remember in 2016 in Tampa when some of you guys may have been there, when he shredded us. And, you know, that feels like a long time ago, probably for both me and him, but a lot of respect for him. I'm glad he's a Raider right now.
What is up? Cage Match Wednesday.
Talk into the mic.
Yes. All right.
Sorry.
Welcome to the, and you need to learn. No, joking. Welcome to the Cage Match. It's a Cage Match Wednesday. Interesting week after the last preseason game against the Cardinals, Asylum. Quick thoughts on just the last 2 days, 3 days?
Well, first and foremost, I do want to wish your significant other, Jessica, a happy birthday before we get into anything, because I don't want to forget and act like, there's something else can say. That being said, the last 2 days, the last 2 days is, I don't want to say what we expected. We knew this was coming. You knew the roster was going to get cut down to 53 men and 53 men only.
Yes.
And there was some surprises in there, in my book anyway. Some players got cut I thought were going to be on the team, and other ones, not so much. So it was more just anticipation, if anything, to see who it was going to be, who made the team and didn't make the team.
Yeah. It was crazy, but yeah. Before we get into our favorite segment, let me do that real quick, because I did have something up. All right,
Want me to do it?
there it goes. Yeah. Here we go. Because my significant girlfriend, okay, girlfriend.
Other.
That's big word. Significant other. My girlfriend. She's at an age where I can call her my old lady. No, today was her birthday, and let me go and do this real quick right here. Let's change this song. What is this right here? Oh yeah. Here we go. We're gonna put her name on the big screen right there in Allegiant Stadium right there. Happy birthday, Jessica. We got you going right here. Shouts out to you. Happy birthday, Jessica. I'm not gonna say how old she is.
She's
but
27. She's forever 27.
Forever 27. Yeah, because Forever 21 closed down, so you can't say that. Forever 27, we say that.
Want to be 21 forever.
Happy birthday, Jessica. Love you. And thank you for always allowing me to do this show. She knows how dedicated I am to the show, and so she puts up with it. So I want to give a quick shout out. Thank you, Jessica. Love you. Thank you. All right. Dance Pop. That's a nice song right there. Okay, Asylum. Let's do this real quick. Let's do our favorite segment, which is, thank you, everybody, which is the shameless plug. And here we go.
All right, everyone, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit that bell. That way you know anytime a video, short, or anything that gets put out, you can be one of the first to watch it. And if Roger Goodell flaps those meat curtains and wants to be the little meat curtains himself, you can catch us on on Facebook. First and foremost, at Oakland Raiders Savage, and then my page, Asylum. And we'll let you know when it's safe to come back to YouTube and watch us. When the show is over, why don't you go visit WGG, browse their wide variety of different products, or go ahead and get that starter sampler right there that you see on the screen and get a little bit of everything. Comes with a little shaker and whatnot. And when you're ready to check out, put Cage Match, one word, in the discount code to get 10% off your entire order.
And like we always say, when you think of wins, think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of Dubby. Get the energy like Pete Carroll throwing passes in the middle of practice. Go there to w.gg, one word, CAGEMATCH, Cage Match, in the discount code to get your full order 10% off. And also shouts out to, I did it backwards. There we go. Hold on. It's StreamYard. Anyways, also shouts out to the Copa Fabian. Go over there to www.rn4lifer.com, RaiderNation4lifer.com to remember the website. Go there, check it out. He has great merch, and he also helped out with our merch. Let me take this off for quick. Our merch, I have it ready, see? And also, I wear hats only by the man himself. So go there, check it out. Check out his catalog. And also, shouts out to Raiderman19. Go to Raiderman19.com. That is the Raiderman from Richmond podcast. He also has merch. That is the Raider Oath merch. See, I'm getting better at saying that. The Raider Oath merch. Check it out. I need to go and order. I keep saying that. I got to get a Raider Oath merch shirt I got to get a Stoner Dude coloring book, and I got to get half the stuff that Copa Fabian has on his website. So I got a whole list of things I got to do. And speaking of that, Raider Oath, go there, check it out.
A lot of money to spend.
I have credit cards. Go. You want to somehow, some way. It probably won't happen by the San Diego Charger game, but we want to somehow, some way get him to the torch where he can spring that Oakland mystique to the Las Vegas right away. As the mega powers combine. Oh yeah, with the windows in the back open for all the ship to hear. For 65,000 fans to say, I am a Raider fan. Asylum.
I am a Raiders fan.
All right, Asylum. That was our. What is it called again?
Shameless
Still like shameless plug. I'm still trying to calm down because I have to rush over here. I was the reason why we're late, because Bay Area traffic is what it is. If you know what it is, you know what it is. Okay. Before we get into anything, Asylum, our new. I'm pretty sure this is everybody else's favorite segment, the CMN News by the little doll, Asylum Burgundy. I believe he's made the cage match team. We put him on the list. We had no cuts, just him. Well, not just him, but he was the only one on the list that he made the team. So here we go, Asylum. Do you have that clip ready?
Yeah.
Let's go check out our CMN update. Here we go.
This is CMN, a cage match news update.
Hello, this is Asylum Burgundy at the Al Davis News Desk for your cage match news update. The Raiders closed out their 2025 preseason with a loss to the Cardinals, but this was an evaluation game anyways. Quarterback Geno Smith needs no evaluation as he threw a beautiful touchdown pass to Donta Thornton. But bad news for the Raiders as second-string Aiden O'Connell fractured his wrist on this play and was done for the night. He'll better soon. Go Team Ramrod. The Raiders filled the void of a backup quarterback by sending a 2026 fifth-round pick to the Cleveland Browns for Kenny Pickett. He brings 3 years of playing experience to the room, which will help the depth for the Raiders. If you're confused when you heard that we traded for a Browns quarterback and it wasn't the popular one, well...
Michael Penix. Sanders.
Blow it!
Ted, you're going the wrong way!
Blow the whistle! Blow the whistle! Blow it!
We have a developing story. Wide receiver Jacoby Myers has requested a trade as extension talks have stalled. In the last year of his contract, Myers was hoping to get a deal done sooner.
Where's the money? When are you going to get the money? Why aren't you getting the money now?
Surprise breaking news. The Raiders signed one of their former players in wide receiver Amari Cooper to a 1-year deal. The former Raiders 2015 fourth overall pick out of Alabama reunites with the franchise that was in Oakland when they drafted him.
It's nice, man. It's a good feeling. Feels like a full circle moment. So I'm excited about the opportunity for sure, and I'm ready to embrace it.
Obviously, it's a reunion, but it's a new city, new building, all kinds of new things. Does it feel like you're coming back to the organization, or does it feel like a different organization?
I mean, the Raiders is the Raiders, right? Whether they're in LA, Oakland, or Vegas.
Welcome back, Coop. And finally, unless you've been asleep this whole time, you've heard this annoying news. Love is in the air in Kansas City. A chief went down on one knee to a Swift and everyone won't stop talking about it. But we have the exclusive footage. Uh-oh. Oh, gotcha. No one here give a f*** about this story. Congratulations to the players that made the team. And to those that didn't, we wish you the best. It's almost time. Go Raiders.
Thank you, Pedro Jones, and thank you for the hard-hitting news there. Asylum Burgundy on top of it like usual.
You saw a chief went down on one knee for a Swift.
That was good. I was like, oh my God, you really put that in there. And I like the fact that you found it Swift actually jumping over him and everything, saying, I'm out of here.
Hey, that actually happened this past weekend, okay? So if it worked.
Oh,
he find Silent Burgundy finds some kind of way to reel you in, and then boom, he gets you. Shout out to little Silent Burgundy. He is taking over our CMN Al Davis news desk. Okay, so that's our new. I saw Space Beast. What is up, Space Beast? Yep, that's what the Chupacabra's going on. We need a new name for Chupacabra too, because it used to be Jack Jones, but he's no longer in the team. And the video I saw of him in Miami, he does not look like the same Jack Jones he did when he came over to us.
When he came over?
The end of 2023. Jack Jones, that's not.
Maybe Jeremy Chin's the new Chupacabra.
Hopefully, let's see. Let's see, because this defense does need to gel together with all the new guys behind the defensive line back there. But, speaking of the Raiders and the games and it's. So I know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because this game was mostly about the bubble players and the hopefuls and find a little, fine tune up for those guys. Like you saw with Geno
Smith.
With Geno Smith, almost a Gene Upshaw. Rest in peace. With Geno Smith.
We're not going that far back.
We're not going that far back. Gene Upshaw is playing quarterback now. He's a spirit inside Geno Smith. Gene Upshaw Smith. But looking at these numbers, Asylum now, and I know, probably a lot of those guys that were in the defense that were those two big runs happened for the Cardinals, they're probably no longer on the team. But let's just kind of go through these numbers real quick. Total yards, Raiders 241 to the Cardinals 269. Passing yards, Raiders 138 to their 59. So that was pretty good. 103 Raiders. Rushing yards 210. Cardinals, see, they beat us on the ground. 3.6 yards per play for us. They had 5.1 because of those two running plays. We had 17 first downs. They had 12. We were 4 for 14 on third down efficiency. They were 4 for 14. That's tied. Fourth down, we were 1 and 2. They were 1 and 1. Total plays 67. We had the most plays to 53, but we just couldn't capitalize. We did have a turnover. That was that sack fumble. There, Mumford had just got released, not because of that play. He just had a bad camp, and that was kind of like the exclamation point to his Raider career. As of right now, maybe he comes back. Practice squad's already signed up, but
that would change though. If they want him on the practice squad, they kick somebody else up and put him on there.
Yeah. So you seen on there that I'm trying to. I didn't put these in order. You seen on there that there it is. Aiden O'Connell got hurt, and Aiden O'Connell also didn't really have a great camp himself. If you look at his numbers overall for the 3 games, 36 for 57 completion to attempts with a 63.2 completion percentage, 379 total yards of passing, 6.6 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. He was sacked 3 times for negative 27 yards. With a passing rating of 66.3, and of course the 1 lost fumble. Then he got injured at the end, or in the final game. Middle of the second quarter?
Wasn't it on his first drive?
I think it was on his. Maybe it was his first drive.
He wasn't in there for very long. We'll say that.
No, and here's the thing, Kay. If you were in the Bay Area trying to watch this game, whatever the rules are when it comes to local, okay. For those in Oakland who remember in Oakland when they had the blackouts back in the late 90s, early 2000s, because they weren't selling out the stadium, and you had the blackouts because you had to sell out before 1 p.m. Thursday afternoon. Even though we're a blue collar city, and no one gets their checks until Friday, to fill up those single seats, But Thursday at 1 p.m. was the cutoff, and then they didn't hit that mark. Even if they sold out before the game started, doesn't matter. Oh, well, you're blacked out. Well, and this is a preseason game, okay? So because the Niners had their game at the same time as the Raiders, they started an hour early. Because CBS Channel 5 here in the Bay Area had the Niner game, Cron Channel 4 couldn't play the Raider game because it's like almost like a conflict of interest, even though two different stations, two different networks. So it was not on local TV. But you're like, okay, well, hey, it's on NFL Network. So that's national. So hey, that's live on NFL Network. It should be on NFL Network, which I do have, and I have the ticket also. So I went to go put on NFL Network. And as the game was about to start, screen goes, I have like that faded screen with the two teams, the Raiders and the Cardinals, and it says, due to restrictions, your game is not allowed in your local area. So my question to you, Asadam, I know I'm going off right now, but my question to you, Asadam, is the Bay Area considered local to Las Vegas? Because Las Vegas got to watch the Raider game. It's considered local, but I can't watch the Raider game on network or on regular cable. So I had to rig it. But can you help me with that math? Does that math make sense? Because I don't.
That math ain't mathing because you know what? That's not a local game. I mean, I'm sorry. When they moved to Las Vegas, that kind of took them out of the local market.
Yeah.
For the Bay Area. I mean, now it should just be, you should have had it on the NFL Network. I mean, I agree with you there. At least the NFL Network. I mean, I had it all the way out here in Kansas on the NFL Network. So the fact that you didn't, I just think it's the 49ers pulling their bullshit and saying this is our area. And when our game is on, we don't want nobody else to, have the spotlight with us until the games matter. You know what I'm saying? Once it's beyond their control to that extent, you'll get every other game but the Raiders, because the Raiders are still, the Niners are still hating on us.
Yeah, and I get it that now that we left, we no longer have territorial rights. We can't say anything because we're in a different state. But for us Raider fans who are still here in the motherland by Oakland, or in Oakland, whatever, just in this Bay Area, they don't care. So once again, the Bay Area gets screwed over again. I blame Gavin Newsom. No, I'm not trying to.
We're not trying to. It's political. His fault that he keeps allowing this bullshit to happen out there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm bald, and I stay bald as a protest to him and his hair. Okay, to Gavin Newsom and his hair. Let me show you how I had to rig it. Okay, you see it right here, and I wish I had a telestrator right here. So I got my big screen right there. That's the big screen. I got my little iPad. There's a wire that's connected to the iPad that's to connect to like a little video box to how do you say, transport the video feed into the TV so I can watch the game. I'm on the NFL just like we do over here on YouTube. You're not going to stop me. I'm going to do whatever. You're not going to stop me. So NFL, YouTube, even though you're probably not in it, and I thought about going live for the second half just to show it to NFL. You don't want to do this to us? This is for the Bay Area. I'm going to run the show. But I was so mad I couldn't. I was just like, whatever. But I just wanted to say, NFL, YouTube, the cage match. The cage match is coming over you, brother. Don't come over here thinking you're going to go over here and try to cut off my Raider game, okay? I'm going to go and show Raider games, and I'm going to show Raider highlights to those of you over there that want Raider football, Raider content. That's what I'm going to do, brother. Oh, yeah. Dig it. So, you're on notice. Anyways, Asylum. Sorry, I had to, because I was upset. I was mad.
You got to get it out. Let it out. Don't hold it in.
This is therapy.
Ulcers and gas.
Ulcers and aneurysms. All right, so okay, Asylum. So we had this game, and Aidan O'Connell gets injured. So now we're wondering, okay, who's going to be the backup quarterback? Because in real time, for reals, even though Cam Miller was handpicked, basically, how it was reported by Tom Brady, you can tell that he wasn't quite he wasn't quite ready to take over for that spot. And here we go. So looking at his preseason right here.
We'll get into that, Ed.
Looking at this right here, his completion to attempts, 20 completions to 37 attempts, 54.1 completion percentage, 203 yards passing, 5.5 average yards per passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 7 times for 31 yards, a 67.7 pass rating. Now, he didn't really get a lot of playing time. Aiden O'Connell got most of the playing time for the 3 games up until he broke his wrist or fractured his wrist in his last game. And I don't have highlights of him. But Cam Miller, I mean, you knew that the Raiders had to go and look for somebody that just in case, no bad juju, just in case something happens, I'm not even going to say the words, well, we need to bring in a backup quarterback. They went and got a Browns quarterback. Now, first, Asylum.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to fucking close down Homer here real quick. Fucking let it go already. It didn't happen. It's in the past. Just fucking let it go. Stop crying about it. It's over. I mean, done. We didn't get Sanders. We didn't want Sanders. We didn't get him twice. We had 2 chances. Didn't go. It's done. We ended up with Kenny Pickett. And why did we end up with Kenny Pickett? It's because our head coach turned around and said he wanted he didn't use the word veteran. He wanted somebody with time under his belt.
Yeah.
Okay. So
experience.
I usually don't. He wanted some. He didn't want raw, and that's what you had with Cam Miller. It's also what you had with fucking Sanders. Okay, he wanted somebody who had, the game was already slowed down enough, right? We know rookies, they got to get time under their belt to get the game, to slow down for them. Some players, it happens real quick. Other players, it takes time. But you're bringing in somebody who's got to learn a brand new playbook. Okay, he's coming in to learn a playbook. He's got to learn Chip Kelly's way. He's got to learn new verbiage. He's got to learn, and go in all this. So when it comes down to it, bringing in somebody who's bounced around from teams, had to learn the
come on, man, focus.
Sorry, the comment just so you got all these things. You pick it, he went from what was it, Eagles to the Steelers and Steelers to the Browns, some shit like that.
He went to the Steelers. He was drafted by the Steelers. Okay, then he got traded to the Eagles.
Steelers,
and
Eagles,
then went to the Browns for the offseason.
Yeah. So you got somebody in here who's already had to learn multiple different systems and going. I mean, is it the sexy pick? No, it's not. But we're talking about the backup right now. Okay, I'm assuming Cam Miller. I have not seen the practice squad list, but I'm assuming Cam Miller made the practice squad list. So we kind of knew that was going to happen when they said they wanted to get a backup. This is for 6 to 8 weeks, or 6 to 8 weeks with AOC. And when he gets healthy, there's going to be a decision to be made. Most likely, I would assume at that point, Kenny Pickett's going to stay the backup. So he'll stay the backup, and then you'll have O'Connell as the third. Right now, they're grooming Cam Miller. He's going to get his chance next year to prove everything going. I don't think he really had a chance or a shot to be the second string quarterback. And, this is just what the coaching staff wanted. And as we heard, when it came from Chip Kelly himself, he can build an offense around anybody he's got. So
who was that? Who was that? I keep forgetting his name, and he beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl with the Philly special. That quarterback for the Eagles.
Wentz? No, not Wentz.
No, he took over after Wentz when Wentz got hurt.
Fuck.
I always forget his name. I think it starts with an F. It's not Flacco. I forgot his name. But
I know who
out
you're
of
talking about. God damn it! Why am I going to
Foles, Nick Foles. Nick Foles.
There you go.
Maybe he can be the next Nick Foles. You know, where he's that guy that runs the Philly special on everybody else. And then we win the Super Bowl. Game over. Good night, everybody. See you later. No, I'm just joking.
We know what you're trying to say, Ed. Autocorrect is screwing with you.
We can still be delusional until it's for real.
After week 1.
Next week. Next week against the Patriots.
Then reality is either going to smack us right in the face, or we're going to stay in delusional for another week.
Let's look at his numbers real quick. Kenny Pickett, one of the Browns quarterbacks that we got now. Kenny Pickett, his career offensive stats in 3 seasons. He played 30 games, 25 of those he has started. So that right there, 25 games started, 62.4 completion percentage. Yards, passing yards, 4,765 with an average of 6.3, 15 touchdowns, 14 interceptions with a 79.3 rating. He was supposed to be I guess you could say the heir apparent to Big Ben when he retired. But then after that one season, I was up and down. The whole Steeler team was kind of up and down that year. But then they went and got homeboy from the you know his name, Russell Wilson. They went and got Russell Wilson, and then they went and got Fields. So he kind of knew, you know what? Hey, just trade me, because I know I'm not going to be the guy. I'm not going to be able to compete. So they traded him to the Eagles, and he had some playing time up there. The few times that Hurts couldn't go, so he got to play up there here and there. And then he ended up going to the Browns, where he didn't really. I don't think he got any playing time in the preseason because they said he was hurt. But now he comes in. He's not here to be the guy. He's right as of right now. He is that emergency. He's just an emergency quarterback, basically. Geno Smith, you know, he stays relatively healthy later in his years, so he's just there. He's a McGloin. He's a I don't know. I don't want to say a Mariota, but you know, he's a guy that's like, I can play it. I can spot you if you need. I can spot you. But we're not looking to have him be the future right now. Now, yes, Cam Miller did end up back on the practice squad, but he wasn't ready, and they want to give him time to develop. You know, no pressure, just develop, learn the fundamentals of NFL football. So last year, you got Kenny Pickett, his stats last year with the Eagles: 5 games, 1 start, 25 completions, 42 attempts, 59.5 completion percentage, 291 yards of passing, 6.9 average, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Asylum, I know you said it wasn't the sexiest pick, but of all the quarterbacks, which I don't have that list, but of all the quarterbacks that was possibly, they were talking about a Tannehill, maybe a year removed. You know who else surfaced his name? Colin Kaepernick. 9 years out. He said, hey, are we still taking flyers? Are we still taking flyers? Trust me, I won't go. I'll stay on both my feet. Trust me. I will be good.
Travis Kelce will be the only one going to one knee this year. Is that what you're saying?
The Raiders, if they sweep him, be going to 2. Oh, Andrew Dice Clay. Oh, no. Asylum, do you like the pick of Kenny Pickett for what it is?
I mean, I think Ed said it here. You know, he's probably a backup quarterback, you know, for his career. A solid backup quarterback. Somebody who come in, handle shit when needed for as long as it's needed. You know, you saw flashes in Pittsburgh with him, but that was it. You know, like you said, the ups and downs. You saw flashes. I don't know if it was coaching problems. Again, you know, just trying to do too much. Any quarterback that sits there and tries to do too much always struggles. So, maybe he was trying to look too good to say, you can't take this from me. And then, of course, they go get Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and really threw a wrench in his plans. But, I mean, as a backup, I think it's a solid backup choice. You gave up, what was it, a 5th-round pick for him, so it's not like you're giving up a bunch.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. You don't know if you're keeping him for 6 to 8 weeks and dumping him, or if he's just going to stay for the rest of this year, because I don't know how long his contract was or is. Going into it, but if he turns out to be that solid pick, again, it might be something that if his contract's another 2 years, you might keep him as another 2 years going. It's not the sexiest, it's not the names that everybody else was wanting and hoping for. And there was a long list. I mean, I heard damn near every name fucking thrown out there at one point or another. You know what I'm saying?
There was. Let me see. I don't have the graphic, but I do have a couple names that was said. Oops, wrong app right here. Hold on, let me go over here. There were a few names, and let me just run them through real quick. When I find it, see, you guys should have been more prepared. I know, but whatever. Anyways, Anthony Richardson, that would have to be a trade. Jameis Winston would have to been a trade. Case Keenum, trade. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know if he got cut or not. He came back into the league. He was with Tampa Bay. And then, of course, Kenny Pickett, which we got now. Jacoby Brissett with Arizona, who didn't play at all in this last game against us. Maybe that was on the list. Taylor Heineke. I mean, he almost sounds like a beer. Heineken. Hey, maybe. Trey Lance, but Trey Lance, what's his name for the Chargers? The coach.
Harbaugh.
I'm a fan names. Harbaugh is not going to let him go because he looked good in the preseason. He would not let him go. Trevor Siemian, remember Trevor Siemian? He's in Tennessee now. Now, and then John Wolford, I don't know who that is. And then you even had this is the list of guys who were like, it's a reach. You called it a reach when I showed you this list. Derek Carr comes out of retirement and steps back on the field. His number 4 is available. And he comes back and he goes, guys, I heard you guys got Amari Cooper back. I'm ready to do AC/DC all over again.
That's what he's trying to do, Ed.
That wasn't going to happen. He at the bad shoulder, and you would still have to trade for him because he still had the contract under with the Saints. So you would still have to trade for him. We've seen this situation. Speaking of Sanders, when Deion Sanders was playing with the Redskins, and he ended up retiring, then he wanted to come back to the Raiders. The Raiders had to ask them to release him and then have him clear waivers, which Schottenheimer got him before we could get him into the playoffs that year of the Super Bowl. Same instance with Beast Mode. I don't know if we had to trade for him because he was retired, but the Raiders had to do something where they had to ask Pete Carroll and him, hey, can you release him or can we trade for him, whatever, to get him onto the team? So they had to go through something. They had to make an agreement. So for the Raiders to get Derek Carr, even though Derek Carr has all the passing records for the Raiders, they still have to ask the Saints for his services. What do you want for him? Well, he costs a lot of money. We want this and that. Okay, whatever. So Shedeur Sanders, no. Marcus Mariota, from what I heard, he's too valuable over there in Washington. He would have been a good fit. He knows Chip Kelly. He knows Chip Kelly. I forgot where, but he knows Chip Kelly. But no. And then, of course, like I said, the guy that keeps popping up like herpes, Colin Kaepernick, they had him on that list. So we got Kenny Pickett, which for me, I try to be positive, Let's be positive. Kenny Pickett came into the situation where he had to fill into the shoes of Ben Roethlisberger. That's like what's his name? The quarterback that had to come in and fill in the shoes after Tom Brady. One of the Mats, one of those guys. Where he did pretty well in that first year, but then when McDaniels left, we know where he went to. He was no good. So you got these guys, and especially like with Peyton Manning and the Broncos, when Asswater had to take over, it was no good. So to follow after these stars like Greasy after Elway retired, then Greasy comes in. Yeah, he has the pedigree. His dad, longtime, Miami Dolphin Hall of Famer, Bob Greasy. When the young Greasy came in, he was mediocre. So to try to fill in those shoes with those fans, Pittsburgh fans, little pressure maybe. So maybe he comes over here and he just learn the offense, relax, just learn the NFL game. You have time. We don't need you to be the guy, and just, whatever. I'm not expecting him to be a guy to come in. Just, that's our insurance policy, okay? Whether it's AAA or whether it's freeway insurance out here in the Bay Area, we just pay $10 just to say we're covered, whatever, But hopefully we won't have to use them. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Yes, knock on wood. I wish I had a bottle. No bad juju to Aljobu, but yes, that's where we're at with that. Okay. But now Asylum. Other news came out, and one of them was it's just like, I know. And you told me when I said, did you hear what happened with Jacoby Myers? And I said he wants a trade. And you said, what did you say?
I said it's your fault. And you said, what did I do this time? And I turned around and said, it started way back in with the whole Wilkins shit. When you turned around and said, we've had a quiet offseason, and this was technically still the offseason. And then we have the Wilkins debacle. And now we got this Myers problem.
Oh. No matter who it is, who's running the show, who's coach, who's GM, no matter what, Raiders gonna Raider. Raiders.
To be honest with you, I don't think this is necessarily as big as the professionals are making it. To be honest with you, there was contract classification of JC, right? Exactly. Pig gets it. Even Pig saying it's your fault. But that's what I was saying. I think this is a classic case. This literally came after there was contract negotiations going. They were talking about securing him up after the Colton Miller extension, and they kind of seemed to have stalled out apparently. And then the day of that, oh god damn it, McLaren in Washington, the Redskins team. Signs that $92 million contract, $93 million, something like that. Contract, finally got stopped holding out and got that taken care of. It just feels like this is just a tactic. Trade
even to do with the yeah, there you go. I was gonna say that. Even him too.
Yeah, even him too. See, everybody but Michael Parsons, who's held out, has gotten their contracts. Okay. Only Michael Parsons is the last one standing who held out a lot earlier than all these guys and still waiting for that contract. But it just feels like to me, as of right now, it's the move he has in order to try to gain leverage with the team to get the contract that he wants. And that's why he asked for the trade. I think the professionals are really trying really hard to spin this in a way that makes it look a lot worse than what it really is.
Don't you love that? That should have been a Raider hater segment right there. But I just got to disagree with you. One thing, Asylum. You said Micah Parsons is the only one that is left standing. I disagree with you. I disagree with you right there. Okay. When you're a star defensive player, always in the conversation of defensive player of the year, every year since he's been drafted, is just laying there on the medical table, just kind of whatever, looking like Snoopy on top of his doghouse, just whatever. Knowing the Cowboys, no matter what, gets national media attention, and you're just sitting there, swinging your leg. Yeah. I don't know. Jerry Jones is a different kind of guy. And
Jerry Jones is trying to model the end of his life and career as a owner to the Al Davis way.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying.
Looking at Jacoby Myers' numbers now, the argument here that everyone kept saying throughout the offseason is that Jacoby Myers is not a true number one. He's not a true number one. Jacoby Myers has a quiet. He's like Tim Brown. I always say he's like Tim Brown. No matter who's throwing it to him, when the ball gets to him, because the ball has to get to him for him to make plays. When the ball did get to him, no drops. He was able to make plays when he needed to. Clutch plays and all that. So I don't know if this is one of those cases where what is the number that you're looking for, and does that equate to what you have done in this league to earn that said number that you were looking for? Because they said the Raiders, the stories were that the Raiders did offer him, but he declined it. There was apparently a team that said, "Hey, we'll go and take this much off of him, off his contract. We'll trade for him." The Raiders said, "No, we're going to get it done. We don't know. We don't have outside noise."
I heard that, but I heard that said team wanted the Raiders to pay some or a big portion of his contract.
See, trying to bargain. This ain't no Oakland swap meet, High Street. Anyways, looking at his numbers right here, let's look at his career numbers right here. Overall stats, he's 28 years old, 6 seasons in the league. He was undrafted by the Patriots, then came to the Raiders, played for the Raiders for the last 2 seasons. So he played in 91 games, targeted 579 times, but it was 393 receptions, 4,592 total yards in the league, passing yards, 20 touchdowns. And if you look at this, passing, 6 completions out of 7 attempts, 85.7 completion percentage for a total of 100 yards in his career, 14.3 average or three touchdowns. For his Raider career in his 2 years, in 2003, 71 receptions for 807 yards, 11.4 average with 8 touchdowns and 30 long of 33. And then last year, 87 receptions. His first 1,000 season, 1027 in yards, 11.6 average, 4 touchdowns, and a long of 43. Now hold on real quick. I'm gonna do his contract real quick, and then Simon, I'm gonna have to take over. His contract details: 3 years, $33 million is what he signed when he came over from the Patriots in 2023. 21 million of that, and a lot of us were like, not big fans because we're like, McDaniels is just bringing all his guys over from the Patriots, and of course, you remember Jacoby Myers he had that famous backwards pass to Chandler Jones. CTE is not real, and he got that touchdown. So that's how we remember. That's how we were introduced to him. But I think he was saying, "Hey, Raiders, I'm auditioning. I can throw touchdown passes too. Look, game-winning touchdown. There you go, Chandler Jones, teammate to teammate." His base salary for this year, $10.5 million. Dead cap, if we let him go, whatever, $8.55 million. He'll be a free agent after this year. And according to SpotTrack.com, his value right now for his extension is $60 million for 2 years on Asylum. Is that a fair $60 million for 2 years? Is what projected by SpotTrack.com? Is that fair?
Well, I'm going to go off the rumor I've heard, and the hanging point on these negotiations wasn't necessarily the $60 million. It was the guaranteed money. That's the
always
hanging
guaranteed.
Point. You know, it's always about the guaranteed money. Now, talking about McLaurin, I don't remember how long his contract was. I think it was a 4-year contract, 3 or 4-year contract extension for him. So, I mean, $60 million. In my book, I think the $60 million for 2 years is a fair contract for him. Yes, he's been hands down our number one receiver for the last 2 seasons. Okay, even when we had Devontae Adams, he finally hit his very first 1,000-yard season. Also went the whole season without a single drop and going in there. So, and he had to do it with 3 different quarterbacks.
Yes.
So that's impressive there. We all wish as Raiders fans, I know, there was more touchdowns in there. The 4 touchdowns, it's kind of low. We all know this is, the NFL's, it's either stands for not for long or what have you done for me lately. In there. So
the Janet Jackson rule.
So to me, I feel $60 million. I mean, that's $30 million a year. Right? I mean, that's putting them up there with some of the top, wide receivers as far as contract goes. Obviously, we don't know what the guaranteed money was because that could have been $60 million with, 30 or 40 guaranteed. Who knows? And the Raiders have already been bit in the ass this year by guaranteed money. Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
Sorry, got something in my throat.
Kissing Wilkins. I hope it's not Christian Wilkins.
So, I mean, again, that's the rumor I heard. It was that it's the guaranteed money that is where the hang-up's at. I kind of wish we could get him for a 3rd year, but I'd be happy to lock him down for another 2 years and be willing to pay the $60 million for it.
Yeah. And that was a question that I kept asking the few podcasts that I watched because I actually, I'm not going to be a hater. I actually heard the concern first from Mitchell Rentz. He brought it up first. I'm going to give him his credit. We're not haters here, even though I didn't want to say that. That hurt me saying that from my soul. But it hurt me,
It hurts you. Show me on the beard. Was it right about here?
It was here. It was whatever. But he said it first. He said, "Hey, my concern right now is Jacoby Myers because we got this money. It's not like we don't have the money to give to Jacoby because we were able to extend and guarantee Max Crosby. We were able to extend out Colton Miller. As of right now, that money that we have from Wilkins is ours. It hasn't gone back to him, with the whatever that clause was, the just cause, the Al Davis thing, I like to say. But the Raiders could do it. Well, I guess it's a matter of, are we paying for what he's done or are we paying for potential? That's a bad word in the NFL, potential, because a lot of money has been wasted on potential. So Asylum, I think he's worth it to give him the money. I mean, he's been, and then they said in the beginning of the show when we had John Spy take the clip from his press conference today, where he said that even though he requested a trade, he's out there, full practice, running drills, doing things like he's being a professional. He's out there doing what he's supposed to be doing. So, with that said, I mean, the guy deserves it. I say pay him the money. You paid everybody else. He's the last one on because you saw what happened going into this offseason where we waited and we waited and we waited. And me and you, Asylum, kept saying, extend out Robert Spillane, extend out Spillane. And, whether it was because of the whole front office with Telesco and what's going to happen, and they couldn't really make the negotiations. And then, all this constant change, and maybe, just like, hey, what, the Patriots give me a better offer and I can't sit and wait, whatever. I don't know what the case was, but we were trying to get him then, he was too expensive. So that's what I hope, that we don't have another Spillane issue where now we're trying to negotiate for his services, for Jacoby's services, and now he's too expensive because the open market is...
Again, the sooner we get this done, the cheaper it is going to be for us. Because if he goes out there and in the first 4 weeks explodes on the scene, right? Just has, like the best 4 games of his fucking career, back to back to back to back, going, that just made him more expensive.
Yeah.
Because now you're going into the point of he's got leverage. Again, the whole, trade me aspect. Teams hear that, he's available for trade. Let me go throw out offers. Then you start, it's that value thing, right? If 6-7 teams are hitting you up, that shows how valuable and what other teams are thinking about him. Not to mention what you hear trade offers, right? I mean, we'll offer you, a second-round pick, a third-round pick. Well, shit, apparently he's got some value to him. Now we got to sit here and think, what's going on there. Deal with, all that. That's the move that Jacoby's making with all this. And then if he goes out and balls out like he did last year, I mean, again, doesn't drop a single ball. The only way you keep that from happening is by not using him and force feeding a Thornton, a Trey Tucker, stuff like that, or even now Amari Cooper. And maybe the bringing in of Amari Cooper is the Raiders' way of saying, hey, there's other guys out there that we can get to if you want to. It seems like a chess match going on. One person's playing chess, the other one's playing checkers, and it's going to come to head. Because if you don't use them, which I think is a stupid move, don't sit there and try to prove your point on the field and not give him the ball, because he had helped us, a lot last year, being in games, doing what he did. If he's open, you throw him the ball. If you're stupid enough to sit there and let him have those games and explode, and now have to pay him, $75 million and more guaranteed, then that's on you. Find out what his number is. They know what his number is. I want to find out what his number is. They know what his number is. At least try to get close to it.
What does it say? What does it say to you? The fact that even though, that he met with, they said the actual words were, he met with the Raiders brass and he came out saying that I want to get traded somewhere else because it's the money. It's not this team, Devontae, I want to play with my best friend. He just say, hey, if I'm not going to pay me what I'm worth, I might as well go somewhere else because the Raiders are the Raiders. And if I'm going to be part of this rebuild, I want to get compensated. I'm going to give you my heart and soul and blood and sweat and tears and all that. But the fact that he went in there and asked for the trade, but he's still doing his job, what does that say? What does that say to you, Asylum, of just him, like his character, him being a man? Like what does that say about Jacoby Myers right there? Like, I want to get traded because he doesn't paying me what I want, but I'm still out there practicing. We still got a game in 2 Sundays from now. What does that say about you as Jacoby Myers, the guy, not the football player?
Okay, well, I got more respect for Jacoby than I do Devontae. Until Jacoby pulls up saying he has a hamstring problem and I can't play, I've got more respect because he's going out there because he knows. He knows. He needs to go out there. He's not being a cancer. He's made his stance clear. He has 2 choices. Hold out and don't play a single game, or you sit there and do what he's doing, and he knows he's stuck in this contract for a year. Do what I have to do to come in here and prove myself to that next team. I can't blame him if the contract negotiations fall flat and he plays out this season, and then they want to come back and offer him a contract. And he does, and he does explain, whatever you want to say, right? He does explain, nope, you know what? I'm going to go here. I feel like this is a better fit for me right now. I can have respect for that because even though he didn't get what he wanted, he went out there and still did his job. He played, he's under contract. He's getting paid $10 million to go out there and play this season. So to go out there and do that and not pull this bullshit like Devontae did, and say, oh, I tweaked my hammy, I can't play. You can't prove it, but I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Oh, I got traded. Oh, I'm feeling better already. Until that happens.
I'm hurt. Didn't you hear me on K. Adams? I'm hurt.
Until that happens, I've got to respect him. I mean, sometimes what he's doing is the only play players have to put pressure on a franchise.
Yeah.
Because technically, you're under contract. I got you for another year. to play to the best of your ability for this amount of money. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now there are players who who do the Devontae, who hold out, and that's their prerogative. But other teams look at that, and that does not necessarily make you look good. And right now, what he needs to do is look good for one to the Raiders because he wants that bigger guaranteed money. I'm gonna go off of that situation, being that was what I heard. It's the guaranteed money part. So he wants that bigger guaranteed money. So he needs to go out there and prove to the Raiders why people like me are calling him a number one receiver on the team. I know some people don't believe it, but he's the number one. Why he deserves that bigger guaranteed money for those couple of years. Or two, to show out so he don't have to sit at free agency that long. When free agency hits, he's getting that phone call real quick and making teams fight for him and getting the money that he's looking for.
I say a lot of great points. It's one of three things. One, I'm going to show my professionalism because I'm still under contract, and I was raised to, hey, if you're under contract and this is what you got to do, this is your job, I'm going to do my job. One. Two, I am going to, this is my audition tape for somebody else out there. So I'm going to ball out, do what I got to do. Like you said, Asylum, I'm going to raise my stock, raise my price if I do well. So I could be auditioning for somebody else after this season is over. And now I just put down a whole season tape, kind of like what Josh Jacobs did, until the end of the year. I'm going to be the best running back, whatever, best receiver ever, and get my money, get my value up, my price up. Or three, he heard noise inside the complex that somebody was there signing a contract. And even though I want to get paid, another veteran is in the house, former Raider, just signed his deal, Asylum. And we all heard this news right after we heard the news of Jacoby Myers wanting to get traded, where this man right here has returned back to the silver and black. And he's going to be wearing number 19 right there. Cooper, number 19. And he's already out there practicing, Asylum. So I think maybe I still got to go out there because I am right now the number one receiver. And I don't know if, Cooper, not only say he lost a step, but maybe
he's on the wrong side of 30. Yeah, he's on the wrong side of 30. He might be able to take that number one, wide receiver one, but it's definitely going to be a battle. He's going to have to work hard and show out to prove that and not drop any balls.
Yeah. Remember, that was kind of like his demise before he got traded to Dallas. But let's look at that those numbers of wide receiver Amari Cooper returning back to the Raiders. Reunited and okay. In his career. In his career, Asylum, 10 years, 154 games played, 143 of those. He started 711 receiving yards. I'm sorry, receptions, 10,033 receiving yards, 14.1 average, 64 touchdowns, and he has twice went as long as 90 yards, in a catch. 31 years old, like you said, Asylum. He just is just turned over the wrong side. Gemini, like me, June 17th, 1994. Played 10 seasons, drafted by Oakland, traded to Dallas, went to Cleveland, then traded from Cleveland. We played him last year when he was with the Cleveland Browns. We smacked him around a little bit. He didn't look like he wanted to play football that day. He would look kind of like, eh. Then he went to Buffalo, which Buffalo went to the championship game this past season. Of course, like we said, drafted by the Oakland Raiders, fourth overall pick in 2015. He was third in voting that year for the Rookie of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowler, and he came back to the Raiders. And his contract right now could be worth up to $6 million, $3.5 million base salary with $500,000 in game bonuses, meaning game checks. and then $2 million in incentives. Last season for two teams, Cleveland and Buffalo, 14 games, 10 starts, 44 receptions, 547 yards, 12.4 average, 4 touchdowns. I would say a lot of that probably because of the Browns, because he was dealing with some quarterback issues over there also. But an interesting stat, Asylum, since he got drafted in 2015, he's tied number 2 with Travis Kelce. He's tied number 2. That's supposed to say Las Vegas. Now with 7 seasons of 1,000 yards. So, I mean, he has been putting up a career for himself, Asylum, even after he left the Raiders. What did you think initially about the Amari Cooper? I don't know why I didn't take the sound off of these, but the Amari Cooper signing. It was just kind of weird, coincidental, I don't know. But at the one guy said I want to trade.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, I didn't know how to take it initially. I mean, my first thought is I just hope he could hold on to the ball. I just remember the drops throughout his career, especially at big moments in a game. He was never truly a speedster, but his route running when he left the Raiders was good. And then, he went to Dallas and, had his ups and downs there and going. Again, my whole thing is, can he just keep hold of the ball? Can he catch the ball? He's got the experience. He's got it going. It's definitely a whole different team, so there's no connection there. It's not coming back to Gruden or what, or Del Rio. All that shit. It's nothing there. The only thing that's the same is Mark Davis.
Yeah. This city's not even the same.
Shit like that. But again, maybe now that pressure is off of him in the aspect of, having to live up to that number 4 pick, being early in his career, being the number 1 receiver, because right now he's definitely not the number 1 receiver. There's even people ahead of him going, he's at best, what? That's number 2, number 3. We don't even know how much we're going to use him, in all this. He definitely brings experience. It can help these younger receivers. And then again, he might be that insurance plan just in case Mayer decides to hold out. Myers, sorry.
Yeah. Myers. Yeah, and then
if he decides to hold out, you have to have that guy you trust, and maybe, just maybe, that's what he's brought in for.
And then if you look at the I have it right here. If you look at the offensive depth chart right here, the other receivers after Jacoby Myers, I mean, Trey Tucker's been on this team for 3 years. I would say he still has to prove what he can do with a Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly can find ways to utilize Trey Tucker and his speed, but he's still you got to prove yourself here. But then you have rookies like Dante Thornton Jr. and then other receivers, Jack Besh, who's also a rookie, and then now with the addition of Amari Cooper, I mean, to have another veteran presence along with Jacoby Myers, and like I said, this is no knock on Trey Tucker on his experience, but you have a guy 10 years in the league. He's going on his 11th with the Raiders, who's teamed up with Crabtree, and we had a great offense at that time. We had no defense in 2016, but we had an offense that can keep us in games, having to come from behind. Seth Roberts and all those guys. So if you can. And I know people are going to be like, here it goes, and go back in time. His dementia's kicking in. If we can have a Jacoby Myers like a Crabtree, sure-handed, making those possession catches, and then you have a Trey Tucker like a Seth Roberts, that guy that just sneaks in, and then that speedster that gets that in the middle of the field, catch the ball, and then just goes deep. You know, I don't know. I'm going back in time now. We're gonna go and be the AFC favorites now with an offensive coordinator. And that last time was the last time we had an offensive coordinator that knew how to call plays and utilize these players. Now we got Chip Kelly. So I don't know. Maybe I'm talking crazy. Maybe I'm talking hopeful. Like I said, this is the time where we can get our delusions out until we actually see the final product go on the field in New England. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. But I just think that it's an interesting move. I wasn't a fan of him, when he got released or when he became a free agent after the Buffalo Bills. They were like, oh, the Raiders should get him. He's out there. They need a number one receiver. They need a veteran receiver. And the Raiders, they didn't get him during the free agency period when it opened up. But now he comes back full circle. And maybe he'd be fired up this time. He's very monotone.
Hey, maybe it's a Charles Woodson situation, right? Charles Woodson came back and ended his career with the Raiders and played pretty goddamn well.
Yeah, and
maybe Amari's going to do the same thing here. Full circle, right?
Yeah, what'd I do? I hit the wrong button. What I do? Hold on. What I do? There he is. Okay.
What are you trying to do?
Let's do. Okay. The clip down on the bottom, with Amari Cooper. Okay, let me set it first. So Amari Cooper, it's a video. So Amari Cooper, went on. They had his press conference yesterday, and he talked about it came full circle, and maybe he's fired up. Maybe this is kind of like my last run, and I got to put it out there. So here's Amari Cooper in his press conference yesterday.
Finish business kind of with the Raiders coming back here. Like, is this something you always had in the back of your mind at some point you wanted to be back and kind of finish what you started here?
Yeah, honestly. I always kind of had that in the back of my mind because, when I was drafted here, I felt like the expectations were high. I felt like I did okay, but I always knew why I was drafted. You draft a guy at top 5, you expect them to come and, really help change the organization. And, I felt like, at times, I showed flashes of doing that, but it wasn't to my expectations. So, like I said, this time around, I feel like I have unfinished business. I definitely see the opportunity, working with Gino to be able to do some great things. So I'm excited about it.
So right there, he seems like, hey, the Raiders gave me a chance. The team that drafted me coming back. Let me try to live up to that when I got drafted, that 4th overall and close it out. Yeah, and close it out as the receiver that I know I can be, as a receiver that I was meant to be, that I was supposed to be. And, going back to the Jacoby Myers thing, this whole thing, if you compare the two right here, this is just last year's stats. Ta-da, we got it all. Jacoby Myers, 15 games to Amari Cooper's 14 games. Amari Cooper did play for 2 teams last year. Jacoby Myers, 87 receptions to Amari Cooper's 44. Jacoby Myers, 1,027 yards of receiving yards to Amari Cooper's 547. Myers 11.8 average to his 12.4, so he got him on that one. Myers had a long of 43. Cooper had a long of 30. They both scored 4 touchdowns. So,
and to be honest, both of them are capable of scoring more than just 4 touchdowns in a season.
Yes.
That's kind of a low for the both of them.
Yeah, and then you could say, well, he went to Cooper went over there to an offense with Josh Allen and all those guys, but he still had to get acclimated. He was throwing in just good at go in there and do what you can. I don't think he got a lot of playing time when he went over there. I don't think he saw too many. I don't think he really saw too much of the field in that playoff game.
They had their established receivers and tight ends and backs already in there who was already getting a majority of the passes to begin with. Amari was in there to do whatever was asked, whether it be a distraction, that decoy, or, try to get open, whatever it was. There was already a lot of talent on that team that they had to spread around, and the magic was already there with Josh Allen and the other players. And we all know it takes time to build that rapport with the quarterback for a wide receiver. It just does. It does happen, but it's rare that it just happens like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So he comes back to the Raiders redemption tour. I don't know. 1 year deal, $3.5 million.
That's what he said.
Unfinished business. Now that we had a day to think about it and really understand, and hearing what Spytech said and hearing what Amari Cooper said, do you like or how do you feel about this acquisition of bringing back Amari Cooper, who I don't want to say he's been, well, he's 31 years old, so his he's starting to come down. Starting to come down from his I can't think of words today. I don't even know.
He's on the backside of his career now. He's thinking about all that, what has to go. I mean, if what he said in that presser, he kind of was staring off, so kind of makes you feel he was just trying to answer the question, and not make it sound bad and go. You know what I mean? But if what he said is true, and he truly feels there's unfinished business, that, there was flash. He even said it. There was flashes there. We all can admit with Amari Cooper, there was flashes of the potential of being a great wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it comes down to those drops that he had with every team that he played for. Again, if he truly feels there's unfinished business and he's here for that reason and wants to, go, I think this could be a good sign for the Raiders. There could be a chip on that shoulder. There could be, a little bit of that Charles Woodson in there of saying, hey, I'm loved over here. I want to be here. I need to come out and give my best and do everything I can to help steer, as he put it, right, change the culture here, steer that culture into the right direction at the end of my career. Because, right now he's only signed, what is it, a 1 year deal, right?
Yeah.
So, again, he's got to put tape out there for the next team, or he's trying to earn that contract to be able to finish his career off where he started it. A lot of players have respect and love for the team that drafted them. But most of them do. And to, end your career where you started it, not a lot of players get to do that. And if that's truly what you want to do, like you said, that full circle, that swan song kind of a situation, you always want to put your best foot forward at the end. You want to do it all the time, but you really want to end your career, at the top.
Yeah.
You don't want to be down below like a lot of these players who go and chasing rings, chasing money, and be on a team and fucking win 2 games. And now you're like, all right, fuck this.
Like those great years after we lost the Super Bowl, and you got all these guys who are at the end of their career, overpaid and underperforming. Yeah, good times. Oakland. Anyways, no mention a moment. Okay, speaking of contract moves and everything, the solemn, the cuts came in. They came in late. We were all sitting there waiting for me, 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's 3 p.m. 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yeah, and then of course the East Coast was 4. They didn't get the list out there until minutes before they started their Monday or their Tuesday practice at 3:30 Pacific time. So they got it out there. It's kind of like in baseball or when you're playing a little league and you're waiting for those final kids to show up so you can write the thing and give it to the umpire before the game starts. You got to forfeit. So that was it, running to the dugout, to the backside. Oh, here's the list. Here's the list. Oh, okay.
We're here. We got a team. Here you go.
Yeah. They're all here. They're all playing. Unfortunately, not everyone on this list will be playing for the Raiders on the 53-man roster. Now, Asylum, let's look at these cuts right here. The player cut casualties. Asylum, you're looking at this right here. The wave players. Gottlieb, Ayedzi, tackle. Linebacker Michael Barrett, D tackle Tank Booker, DN Andre Carter II, which showed out this past game against the Cardinals. Hudson Clark the safety, Parker Clemens a tackle, D tackle Keandre Colburn, D tackle Zach Carter, wide receiver Marquez Callaway, who we had just signed to practice a few weeks ago, has not made the team. Philip Dorsett II, he didn't really show out too well in the last game and a half. Colin Johnson, receiver, he was off and on. Jalen Smith, which I thought that he was going to not make the team because of the addition of Adams coming in. And then Amari Gaynor, the linebacker, that was one of the first names that went out. Center Gerard Hufford, cornerback John Humphrey, tight end Kadir Ishmael, wide receiver Keetron Jackson Jr., DN Ja Joyner was the second guy that came out. Sam Webb, the cornerback, was on his team for a couple of years. He's been let go. Cam Miller, he was let go. Alex Bachman, which I liked in the preseason, he was let go. Terrell Edmonds, who we thought maybe would have snuck in as a late signee, was let go. And then the tight end, Albert Okwegwagwambala Jr., he was let go. Release players, running back Chris Collier, I didn't think he was going to make it. DN Jafari Harvey, I didn't think so. Cedric Jackson, receiver, showed flashes. He didn't make it. Matt Jones, linebacker, didn't make it. Tackle, the tackle, Trevon May.
I think it's May.
He looked really good. He didn't make it. Antonio Monti, the guard, he didn't make it. Sincere McCormick, some say it was a surprise. Some was kind of like, I can see why he was let go. He didn't make it. Tommy Malott, drafted one of the 6 picks that didn't make the team from this past draft. He didn't make it.
McCormick thing.
Say that again?
I said, I want my receipts for fucking the McCormick and Zeus debate we had last week.
Zeus. Ove Ughoff, defensive end, didn't make it. Tight end Carter Runyon didn't make it. He looked good. He was showing flashes. Wide receiver Justin Shorter didn't make it. Laki Tassi, who never played a game, football's new to him, moved to offensive guard from a D tackle, pushed everybody around. I liked him, and I was surprised they let him go. Trey Taylor was still fighting from Telesco's draft class. He didn't make it. Greedy Vance was a surprise cut. Dalton Wagner, tackle. And then JT Woods, safety, didn't make it. And Lonnie Johnson is on the reserve. Asylum, these names right here. Who was the guys that stood out to you that you were like, I'm a little surprised that they didn't make the team?
Well, I'll definitely put Sam Webb on there.
Yeah.
That one was a surprise. The Trey Taylor and Greedy Vance, both them, and Andre Carter II. Those are the ones that really stood out as a surprise. Gaynor was kind of on that line. I'd like to have kept him, but I think the emergence of Jamal Adams kind of pushed him out as well as Jalen.
Yeah. I had a feeling Amari Gaynor, because you didn't really see him too much in the Niner game and in this Cardinal game. So I kind of figured, well, the writing's on the wall. They're probably, that is what it is. I only said Andre Carter would be my surprise cut because the defensive line, or especially with the defensive ends, is deep. So you can show whatever, but unless you really beat out a guy, on that line like a Snowden or even a Kuntz, it was going to be hard to make the squad.
Well, the only one he really had to beat out was Tyree.
Yeah.
And what I thought was shown, and I know they talked about, especially in that last week going into the Cardinals game, is Tyree's starting to get, become his own. He's starting to be that player that, as the article I ended up sending you said, he's kind of that fifth defensive lineman right there. It's kind of hard to not put him in the games. And the fact that he could play both inside and outside, it is one of the big things that I think really has helped him. And he's starting to gain his confidence in whatever, just being on the field and being that player that he's getting off the ball faster. All the little nitpicks that everyone had on him, calling him a bust, are starting to get polished out. Rob Leonard and Pete Carroll have taken that buffing stone to him all of a sudden, and now they're just bumping out all these little things. And I think, I think he's going to live up. He has to do it. He has to prove it this season. But there's a chance of him living up to that, number 7 pick that everyone said, called him a bust because of. There's a chance he's going to justify what I've been saying for the last 2 years is just give the guy a chance, and he's going to prove it to you.
He's like that car. You got to buff it out, get some Bondo, shape it back, get all the dents out. He came in injured, so he came in a little damaged. We got to get in there, fix the axle, make sure everything is running good. If he's a classic car, make sure the carburetor is good, the timing is right. And I think one of the hardest things for a defensive lineman, more so for a defensive end, is being a good run stopper, because a lot of defensive ends really like, I'm going to rush in and get the quarterback. And you rush in and you're aiming for the quarterback, and they just went and did like a option. Oh, not a running back just ran past you because you were going head speed or head first towards the quarterback. And now that little running back that came from the other side just got the ball, and then now, oops. And there was a lot of plays in that Cardinal game that Tyree Wilson, he crashed what they call it. He crashed down the line. When you see the off of the tackle, a down block in towards the guard, the defensive end who's on that C gap he's basically supposed to what they say, take like occupy that space that the tackle left behind. So you crash down, because that means that the run is coming that way. So you crash down on the offensive tackle, and then you're right there to make the play. And twice he was able to read that quick, because it was a quick, when they were trying to go up the A gap or the B gap to the running back, the Cardinals did, and he was right there to disrupt the play, get his arms around the guy to slow him down for the rest of the team to come over there and sweep it up. And Tyree Wilson, I mean, if there's one thing that we need is a run, guys up front to stop the run. That's what the main thing, the down and distance, keep them long. So,
well, I'm going to go what I saw with Tyree Wilson, and I know a lot of people are going to not like it, because he wasn't involved in the play per se, but he disrupted a lot of plays, whether it was a pressure on a quarterback, a running back or a quarterback was running that direction, and all of a sudden had to change and either widen it out or turn around, because he was right there to disrupt the play. Yes, he was not the one making the final tackle. He may not have been involved in the play other than disrupting it. But that's how you turn around and get fumbles or force a quarterback to throw early or throw off his off his back foot and everything, because all of a sudden he's there disrupting the play. And that's what you want. If you can't make the play, you want to be that disruptor on that defensive line and disrupt whatever's happening in that trenches, right there in that pocket. Be that disruptor. And that's what I was seeing in this preseason from him, is he was constantly back there disrupting what was going on, forcing things, which is going to help out a Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz, even a Snowden, because that forces a guy to turn around, go the other way, right into Max Crosby's arms, or force him to bump out and gives that linebacker or safety a chance to come up and make the play for either a tackle for loss or right there at the line and get no yards. And like you said, keep it, whatever in long. Second and long, third and long, fourth and long. And that's what you want. So the fact that he's disruptive, right now is just going to end up leading to sacks, leading to being more, and going to help out the rest of the team.
Yeah. And that's the thing with him is like he's that's the one thing about football, that it's a team sport. If a guy is not making the stats, but he's making an impact, that's also a big deal. You know, it's like you got a guy who like you said, disrupts the timing, but disrupts the rhythm of the play. If you got a guard pulling and he's supposed to take out the defensive end or whoever it is, but he gets blown up, you just basically, you know, made that train of the guard and the running back. You just basically disrupted the whole thing. You just have him crash land. So either the running back has to bounce out, but now because Tyree Wilson went in there and took out the guard early, now you have a linebacker to come in or a corner or a slot guy come in to clean up the play. So it's like, yeah, okay, so-and-so got the tackle, but who made the play? Tyree Wilson made the play because he disrupted it from the get-go, where now they're scrambling, and here we go, negative yards. So, Asylum, looking at the defense, if we're talking about the defense, these are the guys, and this is the projected starters off of the Raiders depth chart as of right now. You know, they're still making moves. It's still early. You know, players can leave, whatever. But looking at this chart right now, what do you think about the starting lineup as of right now? You got your cornerbacks, Eric Stokes coming from Green Bay, Darnay Holmes, been with the Raiders for, you know, some time here. Isaiah Palomao just got that contract. So he's really the only starter back there who's been with this team, you know, the last few years. Jeremy Chin, the big acquisition coming over from the Commanders. He's the starting strong safety. And then they got Darian Porter
too when he was in there. I'm liking this.
He got an interception too. And then you got Darian Porter, who might who are your quarterbacks? Maybe Caillou Blue comes up, or I don't know if the Cameron Richardson will take a spot, but Darian Porter, you know, played cornerback last year.
A lot of good things about Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is Richardson's second season, right? Second season?
It'll be his second season, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And all that. So you were hearing a lot of great things. So Porter, I believe, is a rookie. So he's got to watch out. He's got those people behind him who can come in and
this is why I like Vincent, because we think alike. we either think alike. Well, we do think alike, but it's either because we see potential or we miss those our last glory years of the Rich Gannon years. Okay, I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry.
I saw that quote. I do tweet all the time. It's payback. I get it.
Yes.
The only surprise
restitution
on here, as far as starters, is Devin White. I really thought Jamal Adams would have beat him out for the starting job, and Devin White sitting right behind.
Yeah. I noticed more Adams than I noticed Devin White. And maybe because Adams had to prove, you know, to be on this team, so maybe we saw more of him. He was in the second team defense.
Or the fact that they converted him, so they wanted to give him more time.
At linebacker, yeah, from safety.
I mean, that's the biggest surprise. Again, Darian Porter, you know, he showed flashes so far. He didn't play a lot. You know, preseason, we had to see a lot of people. But he's got to watch out, you know, because Caillou Blue and DeCamerion are right there, I feel, you know, in that. But Porter earned his starting spot. Jermaine Pratt and Landon Roberts, we kind of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Devin White, again, I'm surprised it's not Jamal, but who knows? It might be a rotational kind of piece in there. And I mean, I'm surprised, but I've heard nothing but great things. Even Max Crosby on his podcast talked about the kid, but Jonah Lalu,
yeah,
you know, earning that spot next to Butler and not being an Andre Carter the second, you know, or even a Tyree Wilson, you know, kind of a situation. Even Thomas Booker. I mean, he played well during the preseason. You know, I'm kind of surprised, but happy because he had to fight hard to get that spot, and he stepped up. I mean, I think this is one of the better defensive lines that we have put out there, even with the rotational pieces going. One of the better defensive lines we put out there in a long time.
Yeah, and I would say Darian Porter, because that's raw talent, and they if he's going to be the starter, they're going to take a chance. Like he's going to go through some growing pains, but hey, the best way to learn, throw him in the fire.
Who did we just trade away? God damn it!
We traded away 0.
Bennett, Jacorian Bennett. He's going to end up dealing with the same things Jacorian Bennett did his first season. He's going to get picked on.
Of course, yeah.
So
everyone knows going to rely on our safeties.
So hopefully his talent and staying healthy, because that's what hurt Jacorian Bennett, and staying healthy, is enough there to be able to prove that, I'm not the guy you want to necessarily be picking on right now.
Yeah. And then on here, I was trying to look for his name. Because the Raiders did pick up a linebacker from the Rams, which it happened late where I wasn't able to make that graphic. So I was just trying to find what's his name. It's Brennan. I just know his name is Brennan. But they had got him. He's a linebacker, but he's more of a pass rushing specialist. So I found it right here. Is it this guy, Brennan? Raiders claim linebacker Brennan Jackson and sign offensive lineman Stone Forsyth. Oh, that's a good segue.
Hey,
good segue to the offense. He's waiting for us to pay him more money, so he wants to trade, but he'll do his job that is needed. Let's look at. Hold on, real quick. Let's talk about Jackson. Comes to the silver and black after one season with the Los Angeles Rams here, where he played in 7 games, 1 start, and recorded 2 tackles and 1 pass defense, as well as 1 special teams tackle. Jackson was the Rams' 5th round pick, 154th overall in the 2024 last year's NFL draft. The 6'4", 263-pound linebacker hails from Montgomery, 6'4", 263, hails from Montgomery, Ohio, and spent 6 seasons at Washington State University, where he led the team in sacks, 8.5, and tackles for loss, 12.5, and added 57 tackles, 26 solo as a graduate player in 2023. Now, the Raiders, and I got the next guy's bio right here. Let's look at the offense asylum. Looking at the offense, of course, you got your starting guys, which you kind of saw should have been the starting after they switched out the guard and the center. Colton Miller's your left tackle, of course. Dylan Parham was able to keep his job. No sweat there, huh? He got it. Oh, yeah, I got my job. Dylan Parham's left guard. Jordan Meredith claims the center position. Jackson Powers Johnson beats out Alex Kappa for that right guard, more so because Jackson Powers Johnson got more playing time in the preseason because Alex Kappa, I believe, was dealing with a oblique or something injury, midsection.
A rib injury.
Rib injury. And DJ Glaze, your right tackle, never let that position go since last year.
I want my receipts on that one too.
DJ Glaze. And even though he has Jackson Powers Johnson.
Granted, it's not the same offensive line that I had going on. I had Meredith at right guard and Parham at center, but I did not have Jackson Powers Johnson at center. And I got a lot of shit for that. I got a lot of shit for that. And yet, technically, I was right. My offensive line, I had the same players, just in, just a little different order.
Yeah, the concept, though, JPJ at guard, that was the concept.
Yes.
And that's how I remember you built your offensive line with that being the concept of I want JPJ at guard because he's an aggressive guy. I want him to take that aggression everywhere around the field. Pull, go after the linebacker. Pull, trap somebody, blindside him, take that aggression to everywhere. Yeah. It was on here. I even brought it up again when Pete Carroll was tinkering and everything. And Asylum said, yeah, see, we were on the same, It must be the silver in the hair. It must be the silver in the hair.
Silver in the hair. Seeing shit just a little different.
Wide receivers, even though he requested a trade, he's still out there practicing. Jacoby Myers should and will be your starting wideout. Trey Tucker right now is probably the slot guy at wide receiver. Geno Smith, the starting quarterback. Ashton Jeanty will be your, for the most part, bell cow at running back. Brock Bowers, your starting tight end. And the other rookie, Dante Thornton Jr., just like Darian Porter, it looks like he's going to be starting. Raw talent, but tall and fast.
Well, I was going to say, talent and his size alone being bigger than, he's kind of the Derrick Henry of wide receivers. You know what I mean? When you see Derrick Henry on the field and he's taller and bigger than everybody else
what about
on the fucking field.
DK Metcalf?
No.
He's
faster than Metcalf. He's faster than Metcalf. Metcalf is like ripped. He's got muscles. Metcalf's got like muscles on muscles, He's got that's muscles. What Metcalf's got going for him.
He's got muscles. He's got to pronounce every letter in that word, muscles. The C is not silent.
And he's got muscles on muscles on muscles. When he flexes, his muscles have to flex to show everything.
Out of what you see now we have to put in here because it happened. Thayer Mumford, and it was said in Spy Tech's press conference, Thayer Mumford made the team. 24 hours later, he was released for a guy named Stone Forsythe. Now, let me read out Forsythe's biography. He likes long walks on the beach, bunnies, a quiet dinner with a significant other, and if not Hallmark Channel, a little Lifetime channel. I'm joking. Offensive lineman, no. Forsythe joins the Raiders for his 5th NFL season with spending training camp with the New York Giants. Prior to his time with the Giants, Forsythe spent the first 4 years of his career with the Seattle Seahawks. There's your tie right there, 2021 to 2024. Forsythe played 3 seasons under head coach Pete Carroll in Seattle, 21 to 23, and was originally 6th-round selection, 208th overall by the Seahawks in the 2021 NFL draft. Over his 4 seasons with the Seahawks, Forsythe played in 53 regular season games and made 14 starts, adding 1 postseason appearance in 2022. The 6'8", 307-pound offensive lineman played the 5 seasons at University of Florida, where he finished his career with 40 games played and 28 starts, seeing time at both guard and tackle during his career. These 2 moves correspond with waving. I know, because I'm reading it. I didn't know it. I'm reading it. Corresponding. A lot of R's, a lot of S's. By waving tackle Thayer Mumford and placing Aiden O'Connell on the reserved injured list. So 2 spots were wide open for them to bring in guys to the active roster. Your 53-man roster right now is set. So, Asylum, anybody now, the starting lineup, we kind of figured that maybe Dante Thornton, a little surprise because Jack Besh was the 2nd receiver picked, and he had that guaranteed, speaking of receivers and contracts, he wasn't really showing his face a lot. Well, he was out there, but there was still, he hasn't signed his contract until he got his guaranteed money. His whole contract, it was like 70% guaranteed. But looking at the reserves here outside of Thayer Mumford, any surprises on these lists right here?
No surprises. Okay, I'm going to say a little bit of a surprise is Dylan
Laube.
Right? I know everyone was giving him shit his first season because the 2 times he touched the ball, he fumbled it. Yet again, I was giving the kid credit because, in regular season, it was TJ Watt who knocked the ball out. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was there.
You go in there. Dante is a surprise, but isn't a surprise. He's a surprise because he was a rookie. We weren't expecting this. But with what he was doing in training camp and the preseason, not a surprise. And I want the receipts, too, for the Zamir White. Right there, the number 2. Like I said he was going to be over Mostert and Sincere, who is not on the team.
Yeah.
And going, he lost some of that bulk, became the Zeus he was, that everyone said Sincere was going to be this year because he had the 5 games last year that was great. Again, Zeus did too. And I think when he bulked up, he slowed himself down and, just screwed up his mechanics. And now that he's leaned out, you're going to see the Zeus. I'm telling you, in Ashton Genty and the Zeus 1-2, we were seeing it in preseason. And, I think those 2 at running back, people are going to see we got our running game back. Pete Carroll is a run first. Chip Kelly likes to run the ball. Now we got 2 different styles. You got your pound. We saw it. We kept telling him don't take those hits. But you got Genty who is going to hurt and wear down that other defense. And then Zeus is going to come in and be that fleet-footed, be able to take a hit, but that fleet-footed, bam, bam, you think he's down. Next thing you know, 15 yards down the field, there's somebody just chasing his ass down. You're going to like our running back room right now. If that offensive line can mesh, okay, that's going to be the secret there. This offensive line has played the preseason together, and they were starting to look good together. They kept getting pulled out early, but you're going to see why I had JPJ at guard. You're going to see it. You started to see it. You did a highlight where he pulled and came around, that athleticism that I said he had to be able to play the position and go, and did his job beautifully. Meredith is a surprise at center. But you know what? They say he has the brains to be able to be a football center. I trust in Pete Carroll in this. That offensive line, by week 4 or 5, are going to be a well-oiled unit, which is going to help the running game, which is in turn going to help the passing game. And then we got Brock Bowers. I mean, come on. Expectations for Brock Bowers, we know how it's going to be. Thanks for joining us on your lunch break, Vincent. We appreciate you being here. And your little feedback.
Hey.
Always on point. But, you got Brock Bowers who's going to open up everything. Jacoby right now being the professional. Looks like he's going to play out the season. He's going to do his job. Dante breaking out. Maybe it's time for Besh to fucking step up and go. Trey Tucker, you're going to see him come out this year, I think. We finally got an offensive coordinator who could utilize his speed, utilize his talents. Yes, he's one of the smaller. Actually, I think is he smaller than Jacoby? Anyways,
Trey Tucker?
Trey Tucker, yeah.
Yeah, he's like 5'10". Jacoby's like 6'1", I believe.
Okay. So he's a smaller guy, but you're going to see him being utilized right, finally, and see why Trey Tucker's still on the team and going to have a season that nobody expected him to have. I expect Trey Tucker to have a breakout season this year.
I'll let you know right now. Trey Tucker, let's go by number. Trey Tucker's 5'8".
5'8", okay.
Jacoby is 6'2", so I was off by 1, and I was off by 1.
Nobody's taller than me, okay.
Yeah,
So
Besh is 6'1".
I said it here first. You heard it here first. Trey Tucker is going to have his breakout season this year. We're not saying Brock Bowers kind of numbers, but he's going to become a solid number 2 receiver, and nobody's going to argue with me by the end of the season.
Hey, you know what? Brock Bowers might not have Brock Bowers numbers, not because he's going to decline sophomore slump, but more so because other guys will get involved. So it'll be evened out. This is what I'm hoping.
And the reason that's going to happen is the respect that you have to put on Brock Bowers because of what he did last year. You cannot underestimate, you cannot give him an inch because he showed what he could do when that happens. And now that you got other talent around him, he's opening up the playbook and the field for everybody else. You got Genty who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Zeus who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Then you got, Jacoby Myers, who we ain't going to drop a ball this year either. He's going to continue that streak 2 years in a row. Then Deontay, who has been just, is a matchup nightmare. He really is. His size at 6'5".
6'5".
And all this. I mean, he's a matchup nightmare right now.
He's that
have to double team him just because of his size.
He's that 5th grader that's supposed to be in 5th grade, but he's in 3rd grade. So he's playing two-hand touch football with 3rd graders, but he's really a 5th grader, but he's in 4th. I'm not talking about intelligent wise. I'm talking about because he's that big kid. Throw him in the ball. All right. Comes home. Yeah, I have 800 yards of receiving in lunch. Yeah, lunch recess. All right, Asylum. Now we do have the practice squad list.
That's what I want to see. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, here's who made it from the cut list who came back to the Raiders as practice squad participants for this season. Retained players for practice squad: wide receiver Alex Bachman, running back Chris Collier, safety Terrell Edmonds, DN Jafari Harvey, Shedrick Jackson, Shedrick receiver made it. Linebacker Matt Jones resigned as a practice squad. The tackle Trevin Mai, guard Antonio Maffei. Cam Miller was retained back onto the practice squad, or back on to the team with this practice squad. Tight end Albert Oki Bunyan Jr. Tight end Carter Runyon came back. Justin Shorter receiver came back. Laki Tassi, people were afraid that he might have got claimed off waivers and not make it back to the team, but the Raiders were able to retain him, put him on practice squad, develop him more because he looked promising at right guard, throwing guys around. Okay, teach me the football. Okay, safety Trey Taylor came back. Greedy Vance made it back. Dalton Wagner, the tackle, made it back, and safety I keep saying TJ. JT Woods is back on the practice squad. Asylum, I'm gonna let you take this over because you said you wanted to see this, and yes. Ed had asked you about something. So,
yeah, no, seeing this, I did not see this list until just right now, and I'm glad to see a few players on here. And those players are Greedy Vance, the Trey Taylor, Laki Tassi, and Shedrick Jackson. Cam Miller, I just had a feeling was going to make it to the practice squad. He's our emergency quarterback. You always have one. But those are the 4 players I'm happy to see here because I did not want to see them go play somewhere else. And the one player I'm not seeing on here, which does sucks, is Andre Carter II.
I was just looking him up right now, and I'm trying to see where he went. I don't know. Did he get picked up anywhere?
He might not have got picked up yet.
He was showing flashes. I don't see him getting picked up anywhere. So
not yet.
Made violent argument to make roster. No, I don't see any anytime past hour. Let's say past 24 hours. No, he's still out there. I don't see anything on him. He's still out there. So I don't know. But I would have liked to see him come back.
I'd like to see him come back, because he was showing those flashes. But I'm glad to see, those three right there. Like Tassi, like you said, he's give him a couple of years and, Parham might be fighting for a job. They might be moving, they might move Tassi there or JPJ, who knows, but
yeah. I guess I'm looking at the players cut compared to the players that we got back. You said Carter the second wasn't brought back. Amari Gaynor, I don't know where he went. I don't know if he signed it. I don't know if I did
might
see
not
him.
have signed it either.
Wait, did Sam Webb? Sam Webb didn't go. Sam Webb didn't come back. So Sam Webb is still out there if he's not signed with anybody. And then Sincere McCormick is not. It didn't get brought back. So
I'm telling you,
and then
that doesn't surprise me.
And then going off of when you said Dylan Labe, he made his case for the 53 on special teams.
Yes. I agree 100%.
And that's the thing. If I'm not going to make it onto the starting lineup or into the rotation of the offense or defensive side, I have to make my mark somehow, some way, in on special teams, especially as gunners, especially tackling on kickoff return. I mean, if you're on kickoff coverage or punt coverage, to be that guy to make the plays, the tackles. That's where you got to make your money. Make your way on the team, and he might not be one that carries the ball, but if he can be the one that can at least be the punt returner, the kickoff returner. So I think right now that's Trey. Trey Tucker is still still has those positions. If he can take that away and be one of those guys, and then show, because I believe we both believe that's why he was drafted.
Well, Laube could do it too. Again, I think Laube could even be a kickoff returner or a punt returner.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
for sure,
because of the new rules of the kickoff.
Yeah,
that's what we thought that they got him is for that. Like he's shifty
for that, and then but you got to remember he had that fumble that first time, and everyone keeps holding that against him. And he is a hell of a gunner on special teams. He is a hell of a gunner. I give him that. And I wouldn't mind seeing him splitting it with Trey Tucker. I don't want to see Trey Tucker getting hurt on special teams. But I wouldn't mind seeing him out there because of his speed. So I wouldn't mind, like on kickoffs, it's Trey Tucker, and on punt returns, it's Laube. Or vice versa.
I want them to do what the Raiders did going back to the Gannon years, where they had Terry Kirby. And I don't know why I'm blanking on who the other guy was. It was a running back. I don't think it was Randy Jordan. Was it Randy Jordan? Where they had the two guys back there on kickoff. And then when one get it, they'll go. And then they'll either do the end around where they hand off or they keep it. And you'll see they'll go so this guy will get the ball and they'll both cross. And then now the gunners are trying to figure out who has the ball. So right when they'll hand off, and then this guy will get it. And now they're trying to adjust to this guy here, but now this guy is 20 yards downfield going down the sideline. Oh, I missed those years. Terry Kirby, 42. And I want to say it was Randy Jordan, 28, back in the early 2000s. They would do that end around. They did it a few times. One went for a touchdown at least. So let's throw the old school stuff back in there, huh? Let's throw that in there. That's what I'm saying. We got a few minutes left. Okay, so tomorrow we have I was going to draw it out and everything, but it's been a busy week, and there's going to be a great prize. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great prize. It's going to be it's going to be the best prize ever. We're going to make this.
We're going to make fantasy football great again.
It's going to be the greatest fantasy football ever. The Royal Fumble League.
What time is it?
All right, so tomorrow, it's going to be tomorrow evening, Pacific time. 5:30 p.m. So go log in at 4:30 p.m. Pacific to see, because I have set to random on who's gonna get the first pick and all that. So it's the draft order is random. Go enter in an hour early to see where your draft pick is at. And at 5:30, that first person will be on the clock. So
7:30 my time, 8:30 Pacific,
8:30 Jeff's time. Jeff is in
it. Not Central, Mountain time.
Yeah, I don't know who's in Mountain, but yes, Mountain time. So,
hey, just in case, we got to cover all bases.
So for Anna, for my sister, for my girlfriend, for me, for Edward, another guy, Daniel. My friend Edwards. No. My friend Ed. My friend.
Okay.
No. Not Wenchel. Hueso. He's in it. And then my brother-in-law, basically, he's in it. So 5. Then you. So that's 5:30, okay? Now for Asylum, he's 7:30. I don't know anybody else in your time zone. For Jeff in New England.
Jeff's in it?
Jeff made the cut. Jeff's in it. He is the mean machine. He's at 8:30. Pig's Pig, I think he's California. So that's 5:30. Pig's in there. I don't even know why I'm trying to read it off the top of my head if I could just go into the app.
And if anybody, I'm just going to make this one request. If anybody can't make it, go in there and try to set up your draft, or at least turn on your auto draft so we don't have to wait the whole time to count down for you to make your pick.
Yeah, I got to set those times too. I'll probably do it for 5 minutes. Five is good, right? 5 minutes is good. 6 minutes. She's going against Jeff. And Jeff, and of course the guy, the man who orchestrated our main music, the cage match music, KDO. He's in there. I can't play because my media site is frozen, so I can't play the cage match song. But Anna, so the list of names will be on the app. You'll see it, and then each week it'll change who you play against. Oh, you mean a list of player names? Yes, it'll show a list of player names and in the app during the draft, and they'll rank them. You can do it.
You click the little star, and it'll put them in your queue. So make sure you put them in order that way, and put multiples, because your guys are going to get picked. You're not always going to get the guy you're wanting. So the order you want players drafted in, because it will automatically take the first one in your queue. So if you put a kicker in there and you don't happen to make it, and he's the first one you put in there, you will draft the kicker in the first round. If you don't have it. It's not this one, is it?
No, but no, the other one, our cage match one.
Oh, that one.
Earlier was our Friday. This one is our main theme. KDO is in the fantasy. This is actually KDO's idea. So you guys got to do a fantasy draft for your guys' viewers. So this is the first annual one. This is the free one. And we will have a prize, and I'll have it drawn out and everything to show next week on what it is. So Anna, in the app, when the draft starts, you can see. I think you can see now. You can go in the app now, and you can see it.
You can see the list. It'll give you a list of players. As Savage said, they will be ranked on there. So I think it's I think it's Jamar Chase is the number one.
Yeah.
And it goes down. I would suggest for any new people tonight and tomorrow before the draft, do some mock drafts.
Yeah.
To get a feel for everything, so you understand how it's going to go.
That's the app right there. I'm trying to the one in the middle with the E. It's the ESPN fantasy app. It's like a neon green.
Mine don't look like that.
Well, and it's better. It's best to do it with the app. I mean, you could do it online, but it's best to do it with the app, because the app, or you could do it on the computer. On the computer too is good, but I like the app because the app will ring. It'll send you a notification when it's your turn. It'll go do 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 do. That means, oh, it's my turn to pick. So
especially if you got other shit going on, and you're kind of going back and forth with everything. Yeah, you get that little notification that it's your turn.
Yeah, and because I'm gonna be tomorrow night. I want to go live, but tomorrow night it's, of course, the school's always getting away with football. Yes. My stepson has a open school. What's it called again? Open house, open school, open house. Hey, my mom's in there. My mom says happy birthday. Right here. My mom says happy birthday, Jessica. So so I'm gonna be there, listen to the teacher. Oh yeah, he's really gonna do. Hold on, I gotta take this call outside. It's emergency. I gotta make my next pick. So check it out. If you're new and you got the app, check out the app. Look at the players. You can even look at the top players by position and by team. And the one thing, try not to do, it's hard to do as a Raider fan, try not to pick all Raiders because we all try to get all the good Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to end up picking players from teams you despise. It happens. Remember, you're in this to win this.
Yeah.
You're not, an all Raider team, you got bye weeks you got to deal with. You got all kinds of things. An all Raider team could kill you. It really can.
Yeah.
So, everyone has different strategies. We can't give you the strategy, the winning formation. I draft a certain way. Savage drafts a certain way. Certain people will take players in certain rounds that they feel, is, the way to go. I mean, I got lucky, and in my draft, in my other league, my money league, I was able to get Brock Bowers. I was not going to let him pass me up. I drafted him out of order the way I like to do it. So things change depending on how players are taken. So just remember that.
A variation of this could be yours right here. The championship belt. Oh, yeah. Continental champion. Being the champion of the Royal Fumble. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be over there, and I'm going to win this. You know what? I'm going to win? Because I am the Oakland Raider Savage, and it's my destiny. Oh, yeah. Dig it.
And KDO, I'm waiting for the trade requests.
Saddam, can you play? Because I can't get to there. Can you play the video one more time? The birthday video, please. The birthday video, please. The birthday video, please. Birthday.
I got it.
And one more time, I want to say happy birthday to Jessica. I love you, baby. I'm not going to say how old she turns. She actually turned 60 today. I'm joking. She didn't turn 60 today.
No, we went through it. You're 27.
She's 27. So one more time, happy birthday to you. I will see you soon. She took our son to classes, so I get to stay here. Dad of the year. Hey, Dad of the year. Anyways, we want to thank everybody for joining our show. We noticed we have another subscriber, and so I got to look at it too so I can see who subscribed to say thank you for those who are watching the show. Our numbers are looking good. I appreciate that. Thank you for those who
activate the league on the app. It's not active right now.
Turn to me?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I just tried logging into the app.
What do you mean the app is not? Okay. Activate. It is activated. What do you mean activated?
All right, I'll play around with my app then.
I'm in there, and it doesn't. It has the countdown and everything. It says 22 hours, 8 minutes, and 6 seconds until draft.
I just got in. You never guess who I'm playing first.
I can look at it right now. Arcadio. Oh yeah. All right. Asylum, let's end this show tomorrow for those, I wish we could go live, but we're not. But we'll be together virtually through an app or through a computer or whatever, doing our draft, and then we'll do our updates each week throughout the season. So, but until then, let's say good night. We're almost to football season, man. Get your delusions out. 17-0, baby. We're going to the Super Bowl, guys. We're going to the Super Bowl, guys. What do you like to play? All right. So, all right. Everyone take care. Salim, any last words or anything?
Yeah. Happy birthday, Jessica. Again, hope you had a good one, and I hope you get everything you're hoping for.
I'm right here. She did.
What about Pokemon? Oh my God, you're getting shit for this. First Jeff, now you.
No. It's an inside joke. When I start doing the Bill Cosby voice, it's an old Simpsons joke where he tells the kid, "What do you like to play?" Pokemon. Pokemon. We got the Pokey and the man and the guy and the thing, and he rah, 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 rah. That's the. So when I said, "What do you like to play?" and my sister knows Pokemon. So it's an old joke. We've been doing this for that joke for me and my sister for like the last. I didn't want to think about it. Almost 20 years. Oh, God. We're getting old, Elise. We're getting old, Elise. Well, anyways, thank you everybody for watching the show. Appreciate it. Like Asalam said earlier, watch out for the shorts because we like to throw in some random things that are football related somehow, some way. We try to find ways to put them all together and be that. We like to be kind of like that Tonight Show, the real Tonight Show, not the woke stuff, but like the real Tonight Show of Raider football. Entertainment, but information, you know. So thank you, everybody. If you love our show, let us know. Give us our likes, give us our views, subscribe, share. And I did the order wrong. Like, share, and subscribe. There you go. Dyslexia is strong in this family. All right. Here we go. We end the show like we always do with the word from Mr. Coach Wallace, AKA Raider Mill. I'm saying things backwards right now. I'm whatever.
You must be tired.
I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired of waiting for football. All right. Thank you, everybody. I think we're gonna do a special show next week to get us back into football and more stories, you know, maybe, you know. I gotta make phone calls, get a instant favorite back on. He made a great impression his first time coming on, so I want to get him back. Okay, so we end every show like we always do with a word from Coach Wallace, aka Raider Milt. Everyone have a good night. Get ready. Raider football is not even around the corner anymore. It's down the street. It's like 2 houses down. Oh yeah, dig it.
Yeah.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.